Hello everybody and welcome back again to our channel. We are driving in Botswana and this time we're turning towards Nata and more specifically Planet Baobab. And it wasn't long before we saw the first elephants right next to the road. Planet Baobab is 200 kilometers from Maun and just more than 100 kilometers from Nata. The iconic giant anteater and the planet of Planet Baobab is your sign to turn off the tar road towards the camp. We checked in at reception and then we headed towards our camp. On booking, I mentioned how many cars and trailers we would be, and hence we were allocated an overlanding site, which in my mind should be a huge big site. But it actually wasn't, and we battled to get everybody in on the campsite. Maybe just bear that in mind when you make your book. In hindsight, individual campsites would have worked better for us. On the campsite we had a built-in braai and a fire pit. We also had a lovely lapa with a table and seating. It was nice to enjoy our morning coffee there. It also provided shade and there was electricity outlets in the lapa. We were close to the ablution area and the ablutions was spacious and big with basins, hot water showers and flush toilets. You really got a feeling of spaciousness. The ablutions were serviced on a regular basis and there was also a nice big area where you can sit down to put your shoes on. On the outside there were sinks for dishes and laundry. After a couple of days of off-the-grid camping, we decided to spoil ourselves in the restaurant with supper. All the pathways were lit up by lanterns and it felt like walking through a fairy tale. It was really nice to enjoy supper in a comfortable setting and the food was very delicious. Then it was time for sweet dreams under this big baobab tree. The next morning, the hornbills decided to sample the wiper blades, leaving Robbie to replace them later in the trip. After all, we were in their territory. They hopped curiously around the car and it was quite entertaining to watch them. Herzog and I went for a stroll around the camp. Our first stop was the very inviting, perfectly blue swimming pool. You can tell you're in Africa when part of the pool sits under a shaded veranda. Trust me, in the heat of summer, this is where you want to be. All the pathways are clearly marked and we strolled on a bit further. A couple of months prior to our visit, there was a devastating fire and we could still see a bit of the aftermath of that. These are the individual campsites, and if you are a group of 2 or 3 cars, maybe consider to rather book 2 or 3 of these campsites than one overlanding site. The campsites were spacious and well set up, each with a lapa, electricity outlets and a built-in braai. Then we wandered further along the pathways towards the alternative accommodation options. Back at camp, it was time for breakfast in the lapa. Planet Baobab is in the region of Botswana's Makgadikgadi Pans, and this area is well known for its giant baobab trees. So we decided to explore a little bit more. Green's baobab is one of the most famous baobabs in this area. We lingered here for a while, taking in this beautiful piece of nature. On a previous trip, we ventured into the Makgadikgadi Pans on quad bikes. Similar excursions can be arranged through the lodge. I can definitely advise you to do that. We also visited Chapman's Baobab, or the fallen Baobab. Then it was time for some epic photos. Back at camp, it was time for something cool and refreshing at the bar. Yet again, we were in for an amazing African sunset. It was time to light the campfire, and on the menu tonight was potjiekos. Robbie used the time to go through the route for the next day. What a privilege to sit down and relax next to a fire in Africa. We enjoyed our meal around the table in the Lapa area. And then we settled in for the night, certain to have sweet dreams in such a beautiful setting. Planet Baobab is a great place to stay if you want to visit the Makgadikgadi Pans. Thank you for watching the video. Please leave some comments and happy camping until next time.